This week our heroes talk about David Dobrik's Dodgeball Thunderdome. What did Kira do this week? And it's chocolate rain, literally. All this and more on this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. Don't call her shamey, bro. Welcome to this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. We're good for your ears. I'm Dan, and you can find me everywhere at RFS Dan.
And I'm Jess, and you can find me everywhere at Gone to the Snow Dogs and Snow Dogs Vlogs.
So it's early morning for me on a Tuesday, and Blake's in full teenage mode, so he's in his bedroom sleeping, and part of me is going like, I don't want to wake him up, and then part of me is like, oh yeah, get up, dude. Wake up. It is 9:30. So yeah,
I feel like you need to open up your cabinets and like dump out all the pots and pans. And,
I'm so nice. I am not that parent. I'm that parent that'll sneak over there and shut the door so you can get a few more winks of sleep in. I'm not that jerk parent that like gets up and makes breakfast and doesn't give you any because you didn't help or anything like that. No, I'm overly good to Blake. Like I make sure that he's got a pretty easy. Speaking of easy, he started college. Well, he's been in college, but he started his new semester of college yesterday. Yeah. And I went and picked him up from his mom's house in between his first and second class. His first class is like at 8 a.m. And he gets in the car and he's kind of dragging a little bit. You know, he's got that beard. I don't know if you guys have seen pictures of him lately. I have a video of him on my RFS Dan Instagram page, but he looks like I was calling him pre-Post Malone because he doesn't have the tattoos, but he looks Post Malone-ish with his big old beard and stuff like that. And he's like, man, my class is so early. I said, dude, it's at 8 o'clock. Good thing you don't have to get up an hour early to get to school. He goes, yeah, I did kind of just roll out of bed like right at 8 and onto my computer. I'm like,
he's doing all virtual learning?
He's doing all virtual learning, but the thing is though, the classes he's taking, it was this program that was made by like Northrop Grumman or something like that, where because we have the Air Force bases out here, where it's like take these classes and now you'll be certified to get a job with us. So he's been taking like last year and stuff like that. He was taking like electronic classes and stuff. So old school like soldering and shrink tubing stuff, and you know he's got his 3D printer and he's been doing a lot of like that kind of work, and he's really into like SpaceX and he's really into technology like that. So he's doing more like not computer engineer as much as like hands-on engineering stuff.
Right.
You know, so he's been taking those. Then when the COVID stuff happened, they had him stop going to school, so they kind of just canceled his classes. It's not something that you can really learn too well over the internet because of soldering irons and this and that. So they canceled that class. So now he's got to take it all over again from the beginning. This time he's got tools and stuff to work with here at home. You know, yesterday they were doing some sort of project where he was working with static electricity. You know, he was looking for a balloon and a piece of styrofoam so they could do experiments and stuff like that. But it's just so interesting to watch him do at home learning. It's just it just seems so silly. The teachers aren't really into it. The one teacher didn't even show up for 20 minutes into the Zoom call before he showed up. I'm like, that's kind of unprofessional, but at the same time there's like no basis on what's going on. I peek in his room and he's got a webcam, so I try to stay on the other side of the webcam, but I was peeking into the room and I was spying on like the Zoom call, and everybody's got like meme backgrounds and stuff like that. It's like not really taken professionally.
It's like nobody wants to take it seriously. And I'm sure it's hard for the teachers because I'm sure there's a part of them that's like, let's let the kids kind of express themselves and do this on their own. But at the same time, when you kind of let that freedom happen that you wouldn't normally let happen in class, I don't know. Yeah, it's almost like the seriousness is kind of just gone and it just becomes a clown show.
Yes, that, and teachers have enough to deal with anyway, juggling classes, yet alone trying to juggle technology. There's this whole another level of parenting on the teacher scale of like, turn off your backgrounds, you know, turn on your mic, are you there, what are you doing, you know, there's stuff like that. So it must be hard. Blake's unfazed by it. Blake's an inside kid, so he's unfazed by it.
Right. For him, it's probably like the greatest thing ever. I don't have to leave and I don't have to drive anywhere and I could just go to school at home. Perfect.
Right. Especially the middle of like super allergy season for him with his inhaler and stuff like that. You know, he doesn't want to go anywhere. The only thing that he's ticked off about is that he has to completely take that class over again because when the pandemic happened, the one teacher just like, forget it. I'm not doing online stuff. This is ridiculous. I don't believe in this online stuff. And then flash forward to the next semester where the teacher has to do it.
Yeah, see, that's kind of ridiculous. Yep. That's not really fair to the kids. I was upset for it.
That sets Blake back a whole semester. That sets him back a whole semester.
Yeah, see, that's not fair to the kids. I hope he got his money back, too.
Oh, yeah. He's all taken care of like that. They like, canceled the class, so you do get your... You know, but he can't get his time back, you know?
Right, exactly.
He can't get all that time he spent. You know, he'd go to class from, like, 2 to, like, 5 on campus and do like lab work and stuff. All that lab work has to be done again. So he's like, I already know all this stuff. I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. So yeah, anyway, get up, kid. Get up, Blake. I don't know, he can't hear me. He's probably in there. He's sound asleep. He's sound asleep too. He takes after his mom. Like when he's out, he's just out. Yeah, so that's it. That's what's going on with Blake. How's Kira been doing? I know she was acting up last week. Is she over that phase yet?
No. So, I sent you the video, and it'll be in a vlog. I decided I am gonna share it. I talked about it a little bit. So, most of you guys know we have a pool in the backyard, an above ground pool, and Jamie decided to put the cover on the pool because when it gets cold at night, if you don't have the cover on the pool's temperature can drop by a couple degrees just overnight. So if you put the cover on it, it kind of keeps the water warmer. So the next day it doesn't, it's warmer, I guess you could say. And our temperatures at night, well, last week or so, there were a couple nights where it got down really low. Now we're back up into, it was like 77 when I went to bed last night. So I don't know. But anyway, we had the cover on the pool. We do not allow the dogs to go out in the backyard without us because we have a pool. Yes, we have a gate that stops them from going up the steps. By them, I mean Kira. Memphis has zero interest in getting in the pool on her own, let alone getting in the pool when we're out there with her or in it.
Yeah.
If we're in it, she'll like go up to the top of the steps and be like, you can pick me up and put me on my floaty. And then she wants to float around on the pool in her floaty, but she doesn't really want to go swimming. If you pick her up and put her in the water, she'll swim a couple laps and then get out. But she doesn't have the excitement that Kira has developed this year with the pool. I mean, I don't know if you remember last year when we got the pool, we bought the pool for Shelby.
Yes.
Shelby really liked swimming, but she wouldn't get in the pool on her own. But if we put her in it, she kind of did like Memphis. She loved swimming around in it, but she didn't want to get in it on her own. Mm-hmm. Kira was kind of hit or miss on it. I don't like the water. I do like the water. We would put her in the water and she would freak out. So we kind of just kept trying to introduce her to it with her life jacket to give her that extra buoyancy so she didn't panic as much. Then along comes Indy, my parents. Australian Shepherd. Indy is like a fish. She gets in the water, out of the water, in the water, out of the water. So all these times with Indy coming over, Indy would just run up the steps and jump in the pool. And I think after a few times of seeing that that was something that could be done, Kira was like, I can do that. So we caught her on camera the one time where she was hot and she ran up there and she jumped in the pool all by herself. And Jamie ran over there immediately like, oh, are you okay? And she was perfectly fine. But it was her first time jumping in by herself. Again, we were outside with her. So anyway, long story short, Kira now loves the pool. She will run laps in the yard and then run up the deck, jump in the pool, swim in the pool for 5 minutes, get out, run laps in the yard, run back to the pool. Even when Indy's not here. Like, this is her thing. She loves, which I love. I love that she loves it because we bought that pool for Shelby, and when Shelby passed away, I was sad because I'm like, oh, Kira doesn't really like the water, and Memphis doesn't really like the water. Not that we don't use the pool, but I really did buy that pool for my dog. Right. So now that she's like madly in love with the pool, I love it. I love that she's not afraid of it. I love that she loves swimming in it. I love that Indy uses it. Well, anyway.
Well, what's the side effect?
Yeah, so Jamie put the cover on the pool. And it's like it's a solar cover, so it's a big blue cover, and it goes over the top of the pool. We were out there with the dogs, and they were running around. We let Memphis inside. Jamie and I were in the dining room. And from our dining room, we can see our entire yard. You've been here before. People can see it in the vlogs. You can see the whole yard. We were standing in the dining room, and Kira started doing zoomies, and she ran up to the side of the pool like she was going to jump over the side of it. And we were laughing. We're like, wait till she figures that out. Then it'll all be over.
Right, because that's an easy hop. You and I could hop in there.
Oh, yeah. She could clear the side of that pool if she really wanted to. She could. I mean, it wouldn't be much. She hasn't figured that out yet, but she could. So we had the gate up because she had already been in the pool and we had dried her off once. So we're like, all right, we'll put the gate up. She doesn't need to be in the pool today. The gate is 2 steps up and then there's 3 more steps to the top of the deck. Kira runs around to the side of the pool. We're standing there watching her. And I'm like, in a matter of seconds, I told Jamie, I'm like, oh, she's going to try to get in the pool as a joke, thinking she's not going to try to get in the pool. There's a cover on the pool.
Yeah.
Sure enough. She ran over to the side, went up those 2 steps, put her little paws up on, and just flung herself into the pool.
Yeah, it was all in one motion. Just whoop.
Oh, It was so fast. And within 2 seconds, Jamie disappeared and he was outside. And the next thing I knew, he was jumping into the pool with all of his clothes on and his phone in his pocket and all. And on top of that cover for the pool. Thankfully, when Kira jumped in the pool, she was on top of the cover. The fear is always if you get underneath it, then they can't get out.
Okay.
So thankfully, she was on top of the cover, but the problem is she's heavy and the cover was sinking, so the cover was kind of starting to consume her. But not really, because this all happened in a matter of, I mean, you saw the video, 5 seconds?
I was going to say, you're telling this video, but it literally happened like as fast as every human could instinctively react to right over there and her being in the pool. It was maybe 5 seconds.
I don't even think Kira was wet. I think that the cover was sinking so slowly that only her paws were actually in the water by the time Jamie got to her. And then we were both kind of freaked out, like, you know, we didn't want her to be scared to jump in the pool, so Jamie kind of looked at me and I'm like, just put her in the water. Pull the cover away and put her in the water. So he did. He just set her down in the pool and she swam her little laps like nothing happened.
Right. Wait, hold on. Jamie leaped.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Into the pool, clearing it like it was some sort of parkour item.
Yeah,
so we all know that you got to watch out for Jamie. He can hop the baby gate and make it in the pool anytime.
He sure can. And then his phone was in his pocket, and I said something when I got over to the pool. I'm like, is your phone in your pocket? He flung it out of his pocket. Thankfully, he's tall, and I don't think his phone had the chance to actually get wet, because like he threw it out of the pool, and I picked it up, and his phone wasn't even wet. So like that's how fast that all happened.
Right.
And yeah, then she swam around the pool for a little bit, happy as could be, got out and was like, this is great. And I didn't want her to be traumatized. I didn't want her to freak out. I didn't want her to know that we were freaking out. So we tried to like instantaneously change our demeanor from panic to, oh, this is fun. It's good. Please don't be afraid of the pool.
And don't do that again.
Please don't do that again.
No, it was a fun video. I liked it. She jumped right on in. It was action packed.
She sure did.
You know what's interesting is that like she could just do that anyway. Like why?
Oh yeah.
You know when we set up the baby gates when we leave the house, I'm like, why? Like you jumped toilet paper that was higher than this baby gate. Why do you look at this baby gate and just turn around and walk away? Your snoot is over the baby gate. Jump the gate. What are you doing, Kira? Memphis, what are you doing? Jump the gate.
Yeah, I know they've always been pretty good for some reason for not jumping the gates, but. I think it has a lot to do with when the gates fall, they don't like the noise that it makes, so they don't like to touch them. They're really loud when they fall.
Right.
And they don't like to. Shelby was terrified of the baby gate. She knocked one over when she was a puppy, and after that, she wouldn't get close to it.
That's
like
not a
she
bad
wanted
thing.
Nothing to do with it. Exactly. So I think that has something to do with it. I think the fact that they were loud and when they were really young, that was just a noise they recognize. I think that's why they don't do it. I don't know. Or they're just happy. Or not. I don't know.
Right. Well, do you now have to take new measures for the pool thing? Or not so much? Because you guys don't let her go out there alone anyway.
No. Yeah. New measures? Not really. Jamie and I kind of had the discussion, and he said maybe no more cover on the pool. And I'm like, maybe no more cover on the pool. And we both said, we're always out here when she's out here. But, would there ever be the one time where, I go to the bathroom and leave her out there? No, because I don't do that. That's like we had this conversation where we're like, oh, well, we could just leave her out there. And, we're always watching her. So new measures, not really. Just a reminder of why we don't allow our dogs in the yard unattended. I mean, that's the reality. And I know there are people out there that think we're insane. I have friends of mine that think I'm insane because they're like, so you watch your dogs all the time. I'm like, yeah, I either have the camera open or I'm standing there. But we have a camera back there too. So it's not like I have to stand there with her. I can be doing the dishes or whatever I need to be doing, and I have my camera open on my phone with the sound so I can see her at any given time.
Well, you're very hyper protective of the pets. Even sometimes I'm going like, dude, Jess, like, it's fine. It's fine. Also, Kira gets locked up out there. Like, she's got that clip that you can clip her to.
Yes, Kira has a 15-foot tie out that at night she has to go on because she doesn't like to come back in. So she has a tie out.
She likes to stand just far enough away to make you have to go back and put your shoes on. Otherwise, you're going to step on wet grass. And she knows it.
Uh-huh.
She knows it.
She does. So I wouldn't say that incident was her being bad for the past couple of days.
She just wanted the pool, and then she got in the pool.
Yeah. But then other than that, what did she tear up? Cardboard, napkins. She chewed on the entertainment center again. Yeah, just the normal standard puppy stuff.
Just that phase. Here, Mouse is evolving here. And I've been trying the clicker train.
Yeah?
It's so hard.
How's it going?
It's hard because I put the treats in my pocket, and they already know. They hear the bag of treats. I try to go hide in the bathroom and turn on the water and stuff, but I put them in my pocket. It doesn't matter. They can just, like, smell it. So now Mouse just stares at me. I have to wait for him to not look at me. I have to call his name, have him look at me, click the clicker, give him treat. And it works a few times. I'm not sure. I don't know what to do, like, otherwise, because I'm still on step 1. But he just knows that there's snacks in my pocket. I sit down at the computer to do some work, and then a few minutes later he's biting at my pocket because he knows they're in there. So it's a little, it's not difficult, but I don't know if I'm making progress or not, but I'm keeping up on it. And earlier today I saw him wrestling around with Rizzo a little bit, but I don't know if it was to Rizzo's consent or not. Otherwise the cats just pretty much leave him alone. He did eat the world's record amount of flies in a single day.
Yeah?
Oh my gosh, you saw me I send you those videos, right, of him just going from window to window, and he's grabbing flies, and he's such a fun cat, and he's so, like, full of life and energy that he does the thing that I really love, where I can pick him up, I can hold him up to the window up high, or I can hold him by his back to get the fly on the roof, and he'll do it. He'll grab the fly, he's not worried or concerned or anything. He's a little daredevil, but he does love flies. He does love eating flies, so that's the update. That's the update around here, is this little guy loves flies and still attacking my feet.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's fun. So, you got to do that.
Yes, right. Otherwise, all things are good. I feel like he's getting a little bit bigger than when I first got him. He's been here like a month. Holy cow.
Isn't that crazy?
I know.
It's so crazy how fast time, especially when they're like so full of energy and so full of life. And then the next thing you know, you're like, how did you turn a year old already? I was looking at old photos of my dogs the other day, and I was looking at puppy Kira photos, and I'm like, how did you get so big?
Yes, right, that quick. Especially because when we were at PetCon last year, she was so tiny and so cute, and she was biting my hair at the bike shop. And now, like, everything, like the landscape, the people, everything's changed since then, and quickly. Yeah, she's turning into more of a, I wouldn't say she's turning into more of a dog just yet. She still has those crazy puppy antics. Memphis has definitely hit her 7-year-old stride. Yeah. She has hit I'm a husky that is 7 years old, and now I am snuggle me, pet me, feed me. Do not expect me to do anything more than that. But I will say, the other day when Lana was here, we were all sitting out there, and Memphis had her little ears perked while Lana and Kira were running in circles, and we were all talking and playing games, and we were playing outdoor games, and the dogs were, running around. Memphis's little ears perked, and then all of a sudden, for no reason, nobody antagonized her, nobody came up to her and attacked her. She just took off and did laps around the yard with the other dogs, playing and jumping for almost a full 10 minutes. It was so funny. All of us stopped. Every one of us in the yard stopped, and we watched her play, all going, what did she eat? Whatever she ate, we need to feed it to her again. Right. So it's a choice. She's making a choice. It's a one-way street with her now. All the things come to me. I am not giving out anything at all.
Exactly.
We had that once here. We had this old cat named Buddha from way back in the day. It's been 10, 15 years now. We had this old cat named Buddha, and he just laid around and was chill like the 7-year mark. And all of a sudden, one day, there was a mouse in our house. And the mouse went running by. Mooch, who was like probably 2 or 3 years old. Tails, that was probably 2 or 3 years old. And went running by, and then off leaps Buddha, grabs the mouse out of nowhere. And I'm like, dude, new cats, like, what are you doing? Like, this old timer came out of retirement like George Foreman to box the mouse again, and then that was it. And then he went back up on his box, and then that was his last hurrah. But then I saw at that time, I was like, that's a choice. You choose to chill out.
Yep.
So that's Memphis.
Memphis chooses the happy chill life. The roll over, pet my belly, let me come sit next to you. Right now she is at my feet under my desk dreaming. Her little feet are kicking.
Oh, she's always dreaming.
Uh-huh. And she's always at my feet. Last night Jamie and I were making a joke. I was getting ready to go back into the office, and I walked out into the kitchen and got a glass of water, and then I came and sat the water down, and then I wanted something else, and Memphis was following me. And Jamie goes, "Are you watching your dog?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "Watch your dog." He goes, "Keep walking from room to room." And she would follow me, and she would go into the living room and stand there like are we going to pick the living room? And then she'd go all the way back into the office with me, and she'd stand there, are we going to pick the office? And until I sat down in my chair, she didn't lay down. As soon as I sat down, she got underneath my desk in her spot and laid down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The good news is, though, about Memphis being chill like that is, like, when I was there last time, I needed a pillow, got a dog pillow. I wanted to play with a husky. I got to play with the husky. I wanted to pet and love and snuggle a dog because it felt good, and I got to with no fighting. Mouses lays over here, and sometimes I'll go snuggle up by him, and sometimes he'll lay with me. Oftentimes I wake up and he's snuggled up with me, but most of the time I go there and I try to snuggle him, and he's like, "Ooh, can I chew your ear?" Oh, since I put new dye in my hair because he hasn't seen that yet, he just wants my hair. Yeah, he just wants to attack my hair, and I'm just like,
this is great.
Yeah, I don't know if you could do that or not. So I have an update real quick since we're talking about pets. I don't know if this is a real pet, but last week we did a story about how the eagle took the drone out of the sky.
Here in
Michigan, and the drone was lost forever. Well, good news, bad news. The good news is they found the drone. The bad news, it wasn't recording anything, so they have no footage. What's the point? People?
Yeah, why did you even want it back if it wasn't recording anything in the first place?
I saw a picture of it. It was gross.
And how much money did you spend for somebody to go find it?
Right.
When you could have just bought a new one.
Right. So I'm like, what? This is dumb. I was scrolling down. When he sent me the link, I was scrolling down going, okay, we're going to see the footage, and it's going to be rad, and it's going to be Italians, and it's going to go like, and make that like big old loud like eagle scream and stuff like that. Instead, we get nothing. So that's the update. Case closed. They found the drone, which isn't going to work anymore.
No.
And they weren't even recording, so pretty much somebody was just playing with the drone at that point.
Yep, I think so too. That's pretty much what happened.
Yes. So, on to this next thing. I saw a story about it raining chocolate somewhere in the world. Multiple people sent me this story that it was raining chocolate. And what was the joke we were going to make? I hear it's raining ash, but in other parts of the world, it is raining chocolate. So I tried to Google this story because I don't really have much on this story. I don't know if you have any more to say on the story. I don't really have much on this story, but that I saw pictures of what looked like just dirt on cars. I tried to type in chocolate rain, and you know where I'm going with this next. All I got was Tay Zonde videos from the chocolate rain video from back in the day. So I wasn't really able to find too much on this story.
What a missed opportunity.
Yes, right?
Yeah, like what a missed opportunity for titling. So I guess it happened in, what was it, Switzerland?
Yes, it was in Switzerland.
It happened at the Lindt, how do you say it, Lindt, Lindt factory. And they make those they make really good chocolate. And I guess from what I was reading, something happened with their venting system. Like their ventilation system had some type of malfunction. And instead of ventilating the chocolate dust, it shot it out into the air.
Right. I love it. They call it a coca nibs. The coca nibs fragments crushed coca escaped.
And I think the coolest part is the pictures I saw, there was snow. Did you see the pictures with the snow?
Yes. And
there's chocolate on the snow. Can you imagine what that must have smelled like? Compared to what you're smelling now, which probably just smells like campfire.
It does, actually. It does.
And I love the smell of campfire. That's the smell. They should bottle that smell. I love the smell of campfire. But, the smell of chocolate in the air just sounds so freaking amazing to me.
If it's on fresh powder, I would just run my hand down there and roll up a little snowball of chocolate, and I would
now
eat
you got
it.
Chocolate snow.
Yeah, they probably should have campfire smell somewhere, because if you can get the smell of the water from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride in candle form, in spray form, and lip chap form,
right?
You should be able to get campfire. But yeah, so it's raining. I would be stoked. I would go out in my car with my sunroof open and pretty much stand out there and just open my mouth, and I just imagine it raining just chocolate all over me.
I wonder, the snow would taste like chocolate ice cream.
It would. Oh, but people would be mad because they would think it was dark chocolate. It's dark chocolate, run! No! Wow, that is crazy. That is better than when we have that sriracha factory out here, because you know what sriracha is, right? It's over there too. Yeah, and they had to shut it down for a while. And I know we've talked about this before, because the sriracha machine was venting whatever like the fumes are from the sriracha, and it was like burning the kids' eyes. I could just imagine it being like the episode of The Simpsons is my eyes are burning, you know, why all the kids are playing on the playground and stuff, and people were getting sick from it and stuff. So for a while there, until they won some sort of lawsuit, that everybody in that town was suffering from sriracha. I wanted just to take my tacos out there and let it just, you know, get a natural layer of sriracha on there. It wasn't raining down sriracha or anything, but it was definitely in the air and burning people's eyes. So I don't know, what else could I have raining from the sky? Oh, beer. I'll take that. Can we go by the Budweiser factory? And you know, I have one not too far from here. Maybe an hour away is the big huge Budweiser plant out here. I should hang out there until it rains beer.
It makes me think of like, okay, so what are the things like, you know, like when police do those big drug raids and then they have all this excess of the marijuana and they're like, let's burn it. Like, whose idea is that? Let's burn it outside where everybody can smell it. Have you ever seen them do that?
I have not. I've only seen it on The Simpsons, because The Simpsons have done everything where they burned the marijuana, and then all the hippies were standing there breathing it in, and Wiggum's all like, oh no, throw the barber hair on it, and they threw like a bunch of barbershop hair on it, and they were like, oh. But no, I have not seen that.
I haven't seen it in person, but you know, like I said, I've seen it done on TV and stuff before, but that's always just crazy to me. But like, that's kind of what I thought of, like you said, when we were talking about the chocolate stuff. It's like, what else would be amazing? We have a plant here called Decorative Panels Incorporated, DPI, right. And they make press board, and they have vents that they're supposed to keep closed, but every once in a while they have to open them. And it's really interesting because it usually only smells on the north side of town, and you get such a variety of people that think it smells like different things. So many people think it smells like toasted marshmallows. I do not think it smells like toasted marshmallows. I think it smells horrible. But there are times when you will go downtown Alpena or the north side of Alpena, and there's just the smell. And it's because they have the vents open at DPI. And it's just a smell from them burning off the wood pulp. That's all it is.
Oh,
but
that can't be good. And people that live in that area have to smell that, right?
Yes, and I don't know if they still do, but I think DPI and Lafarge both, every so many months or so, there's houses in that area that they have to clean because of the dust that goes up in the air and then ends up on people's houses and their cars. I know at one point in time, I don't know if it was a malfunction or whatnot, but it ended up, they had to replace everybody's air conditioners on that side of town. And I think it was a malfunction. I can't remember if it was Lafarge or DPI, but one of them had a malfunction in those systems, and it put so much smell and dust into the air that anybody that had an air conditioner, they had to replace their air conditioner.
Oh, yeah. I'm worried about that here because I have that swamp cooler. We have those pads that suck in all the air and all the fires and the ash and stuff like that. I'm afraid that I'm going to have to go up there and replace all the pads, so I get it.
Yeah, you probably will, because that's getting sucked in there. I had a friend of mine who lives north of you, more northern California, that they were talking about. They put a carbon monoxide detector into their camper because they wanted to leave because the smoke was so bad where they were. Mm-hmm. They were just going to put everything in their camper and drive north till they got away from the smoke. And they said they put the carbon monoxide smoke detector in their camper with the battery, and as soon as they put the battery in it, the thing just started going off. That's how bad the air quality was where they were at.
Ooh, yeah, things are really bad up in there. Same with I think Colorado too. It's chaos. It's chaos in America.
Yeah,
I mean, there's hurricanes, and I don't really know too much about it. It's hard because I stay away from the news just because it's so much right now. You know, it's so much to take in all the time. So I'm trying to figure out, like, how do I find the things that are kind of important to me, like these hurricanes and stuff. I only heard about it because I thought Charles Trippy's new video said we have to go home early because they bought like an RV or something like that. And I haven't really been watching them. I've been skimming through the videos a little bit, and I'm going like, uh-oh, like what happened? And then he's like, like the hurricanes are coming, so we're gonna have to go back home. And I'm like, well, I guess it's hurricane. Like every year there's a hurricane, enough so that they have a naming convention for these hurricanes. Right. So there must be another hurricane. But apparently, like, there's a bunch of them or something coming.
There's two, Hurricane Laura, and I think Marco is now officially a hurricane, which they missed the boat on that. They should have named him Marco Polo.
That's two missed opportunities.
Yeah, right?
One with the chocolate and one with the hurricanes.
Right, but I guess Laura is supposed to hit pretty soon, and then Marco is coming in either the next day. They're supposed to both make landfall pretty quick right behind each other. And I guess from what I was reading, this is the first time in the history of recording hurricanes that two have ever hit at the same time like this.
That is crazy. I wonder what that does. Are they coming in like they do every year, where we see them do this little U that comes up through like the edge of Florida and like the coast?
It looks like they're going to hit right in the Gulf of Mexico, so they're going to pound Louisiana.
It's over that way. Oh, and Louisiana is like at sea level, too.
Yeah, so they've already been telling people, get out. I guess FEMA has already been like, we're preparing, and we're going to have all these things ready, and they're prepared. It's going to be bad. I don't think it's not like they can control it. It's going to be bad. So if you live down there and you can get out, you might want to evacuate. Sooner rather than later.
Yeah, let us know you're okay. I also heard there was maybe tornadoes or something in like I'm gonna get the state wrong. It was like Kansas or Indiana or somewhere.
Idaho.
There was a tornado at a place where apparently, from what Crystal was telling me, majority of the nation's corn is like the crops are gone.
Yeah, it was in Idaho, and it didn't really make national news, and I'm not sure why.
Oh, I know why, because all this chaos that's going on, like, nobody cares about this as much.
It wasn't a tornado, it was called something else. I don't remember what it was called, but it's very similar to a tornado. Mm-hmm. But it took out a lot of towns, a lot of crops, thousands and thousands of acres. And there's quite a few GoFundMe and different places you can go right now to help the farmers out there. But it was crazy. I was surprised that it didn't make national news, because once I started seeing it a lot on TikTok, where people are like, the national news isn't talking about what happened here. And it was all these Idaho videos, and they were showing all this damage. So then I went through and I started looking it up, and it's mind-blowing how damaged that state is right now, and still nobody's really talking about it.
I had no idea that happened. I had no idea that there was hurricanes coming. Nothing. What am I supposed to do? Do I need to drudge through like a CNN or an MSNBC to get like just news of just like what's going on without it just being just madness at all? So I don't know. I had no clue. So yeah, you're right. And it is up to like a lot of this social media stuff. I learned about these hurricanes from Charles Trippey. You learn about stuff because TikTok. And when I was on TikTok scrolling around, you would see current event stuff going on because people are either parodying it or talking about it,
right,
or they're straight up living in it.
Yeah. So that's what I saw.
Yeah, that's the way to get your news. But like I said, I don't know. And I'm sitting at a computer literally all day long.
Me too.
All day long, and I don't see anything. So yeah, it is weird how it's just not frontline news. But it's not that. It's election season. It's a lot of chaos going on in the world, and they're not talking about this stuff. I guess you have to pick and choose your disasters. And human disasters are what's on the forefront right now, apparently. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, well, I hope everybody's okay, and I hope 2 tornadoes or 2 hurricanes. I don't know, maybe they'll bounce off each other and go back the other way. That's not how it works.
I pictured that was what you were gonna say, and then I pictured the 2 hurricanes going boing.
Yeah, bye, we're out of here, or we'll stop people.
Yep.
Ooh, so we got to get on to our main topic, and then I have some other stuff to talk about here. There is some things that you and I agree on, but there's a lot of things in life that we don't agree on. And one of these things is our boy David Dobrik.
I like David Dobrik.
We have lots of fun watching his stuff. Right.
We agree on that.
Yeah. He's lots of fun and all that good stuff, right? Well, apparently he's got this new show on Discovery Channel called Dodgeball. Discovery Network, Discovery Channel, I'm not sure what you call it. Which, these television stations are so crazy, like the way they are. Like the History Channel's got so much non-history stuff anymore. Like Storage Wars should not be on the History Channel. The Learning Channel is just plagued with bad reality shows. What am I learning here? What am I learning? What not to do? Is this channel just a what not to do?
Yeah, pretty much.
The Oxygen Network only shows murder stuff.
Well, it's because of lack of oxygen.
So apparently the Discovery Channel would... Oh, Jess, everybody. That'll do it for this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. But the Discovery Channel, now we have David Dobrik's hosting a new show called Dodgeball. Extreme Dodgeball, right? Because we can't just have regular Dodgeball. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give this a try. So I put this Dodgeball show on, and let's see. Okay, on the count of 3... we'll say yes or no whether we like the show right off the bat. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yes.
No.
You asked me yesterday, did you watch the dodgeball show? I'm like, yeah, the first episode's out. I watched it. I think it's free up on the Discovery Channel. I watched it. I enjoyed it. It reminded me of the Wipeout show. I enjoyed it, and I watched the whole episode. I'm curious to see, before I talk about it anymore, what was your take on it? Why didn't you like it?
I made it 10 minutes into the show.
Really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't like that it was so fake. I didn't like that, like, David Dobrik wasn't even there. It was a green screen with him and that dude sitting in what was supposed to be, an announcer booth?
Right.
I'm like, this is just dumb. Why isn't he there? Like, he should be there with a microphone in his hand. And, like, I don't know. I just felt really cheesy and faked and forced. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that they literally took David Dobrik because he's popular and built the show around him, but I'm assuming probably didn't give him any creative control over it, and went, we're literally just going to use you for what you are, and here's a TV show.
So,
and I didn't like that.
That's what I thought 10 minutes into it. Then, so here's how I think that it works. Of course, it's just like Wipeout, where they're never there. They're sitting in front of a green screen, and the green screen background is the overview of the dodgeball dome or whatever.
Right.
And they're doing their stuff. Then he's out there actually with them, talking to them. So I think that's recorded at a different time, because the other one's recorded obviously in a studio. They didn't just build a studio there out in what looks to be like Calabasas or something. It's like probably 30 minutes south from here. Like, I could tell the area. It was probably like Santa Clarita area where they filmed it. Jonah ended up showing up because they were like demonstrating what was going on there. So they were having him run the course on the show and stuff like that. So it was a little David Dobrik-ish, and he was there for 2 or 3 minutes doing like 1 or 2 segments. So he was there, but all that other stuff that you see him in the studio with, obviously he's not there. The one thing that I think that I did not like, that you probably did not like either, I can't speak for you, but we know him pretty well as far as watching his videos. Those aren't his words, those aren't his lines, those aren't his jokes, those aren't his line deliveries. That's not the way things are worded. Crystal makes a lot of the questions, all the questions pretty much, for the can shows. I have to go and reword a lot of them, or you see me do it on Dantix where I stumble for a minute because I'm like, that's not how I would word that. And then I would go back and try to reword a question the way I would reword a question. A lot of the stuff that he was saying and a lot of the way he was giving line deliveries weren't natural for the word formatting that he uses in his videos.
And I think that's what bothered me the most.
He's a crappy actor.
He's a crappy actor.
No
offense, David Dobrik, but you're a crappy actor.
You know it. But just a line delivery and ooh, that had to hurt. It's like, whoa, and then he does his little tongue thing, and then we're all like, oh.
I just couldn't do it. Like I said, 10 minutes into it, I had to turn it off. Jamie was staring at the TV like, are you for real? And I'm like, well, I'm supposed to watch this as homework for the podcast. I made it 10 minutes. I'm good.
It got a little bit better, but it is exactly the same formulaic thing. You know, after the commercial break, blah, 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 blah. And when we come back, blah, 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 blah. Let's see this slow motion replay. And then, you know, it's the balls shooting off at people and stuff like that. And it was fun to watch. It was very gimmicky. And it was just like Wipeout. I didn't hate it, but oh my gosh. It like, you know how like when you eat some foods and it's got preservatives in it and you're like, oh, I can just taste like this being fake. Or like I can taste that this cookie just tastes from the store, just tastes like it's like full of preservatives and stuff like that. This show was full of just like preservatives. It's like, this isn't the way you talk. And this isn't what just happened there. And, you know, so it was a little far-fetched, and I'll probably watch another episode because I don't think Blake's seen it yet. So I'll watch episode 2 with them. But yeah, it's exactly what you thought it was. It did get a little bit better. No, it didn't. But I didn't mind it. I liked it. I liked it. Go, David Dobrik. You know, way to go on the dodgeball show. I should have applied. I don't know how to apply for that, but I should have applied. I would have done it.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, get balls thrown at my face.
Yeah, I didn't. It's a no from me.
Yeah, it was crazy because you asked me if I watched it, and I was like, in fact, I did watch it. And you're like, I got 10 minutes into it, and I quit. And I'm like, dang, that was like me with America's Got Talent. You were all so stoked, and I was like, I'm going to watch it. And I'm like, oh, I can't do this no more. I can't. It's so fake. That's the thing. How do you like that? That show is so fake. It's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They pay people to go out there and bonk just so they can get the clip.
Well, yeah, but they have to do that to make the part of the show. I don't like that part of the show. I like the people with the actual talent. that are on there.
Right, which are peppered through there, but then they have to like fluff the show with like, we need a whammy.
Yeah.
We need somebody to go out there dressed as a whoopee cushion and run out there and dance around for 5 minutes until Simon gets really upset, shows his chest hair, and hits the X button.
Which is why that show gets better towards the end of the season when they have eliminated all of that and now it's just the top people that are going against each other. That's when you actually see like the real, because then you only see the talented people.
The fluff
you don't get the
starts
people
to go away.
Yeah, exactly, because they don't the what is it, the tryouts are over and now these are the people that actually made it through.
Right, but the show is really really concentrated. Like when I say concentrate, I mean like, you know how you like buy orange juice and it's concentrated and then you have to add water. They really have made the show concentrated. Before like on American Idol and stuff, because it's been a lot of years since I've seen these reality shows that are like talent shows. You would get one or two full sob story episodes of things of like they show the guy at his hometown and everybody's rooting for him and he's the little cowboy dude that could. 100% of every single person that went on their stage had at least a 1 to 2 minute backstory of losing somebody, doing something, and it's just sob story after sob story just to bring you down, to lift you back up when the guy goes out there and he's got a really good voice, but yet he's dressed in cowboy boots and a hat with the brim that's been folded so both ends are almost touching. So it's just too much. It's too much. You can give one of those, maybe two of those an episode, but I don't need your backstory. I need you to go out there with tape on your face and your big blue eyes and just do silly stuff. So I'll watch another episode of the Dodgeball show.
Yeah, I'm not going back to it.
And I didn't write this down, but I forgot. Last week's homework is I was going to watch some Glee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even write that down. We can talk about that for just a minute here. So I put on Glee, and every night I get a screenshot from Jess, and it just says Glee, and it's just a picture of some dude or some girl that's just, I don't know, it's just a still shot, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll throw it on. What's that?
I'm on season 3, episode 4.
Okay, so you still got a ways to go. So you're in your prime. Yeah. That's what I love about like big episodic series. Like when you get into those middle seasons, like let's say it's 10 seasons. When you get into like seasons 3, 4, and 5, you're like, this is great. And then all of a sudden you peak on that roller coaster and you start feeling the decline. Oh, Here we go. That was like, I watched Shameless. I really loved that show for like the first 3 seasons and 4 seasons. After that, the last like 5 seasons have just sucked, and I hate all of them. And it's just, I don't want to like follow any of their stories anymore. Does that happen with Glee, or does it go pretty solid all the way through?
Glee pretty much falls off after the character Finn Hudson. He dies in real life, and pretty much after that happens, they can't really save the show.
No, but what season is that? How much more glory seasons
5,
do you have?
I think.
Okay,
I
so
think
you
it's
still have
5.
a little bit. So you're like right in the prime. Like they're in their prime right now. Okay, so I started watching the show. I watched, I believe, 3 episodes I watched. And I did not mind it at all. I did not mind it at all. It's not as Glee-y as you would think it is. It's not like Cop Rock where the guy like, I gotta get something out of my locker, and then they have this big montage where everybody's in their lockers and coming out, and it's a dance number and it's a routine. And will he be late for math? Will he be late for math? Will he be late for math? No, he won't. No, he won't. Yes, he will. Like it wasn't like that. Like I thought it was. It was pretty much just like high schoolish. Like just like high school. It's kind of like my so-called life with music a little bit. So I didn't mind it at all. I liked some of the characters. I liked the first 3 episodes are pretty much just like any show. It's introduction. It's introduction, it's backstory, it's set up. There's this one like dark-haired nerdy girl that was like wants to do everything the correct way and stuff like that. What's her name? I forgot. I sent you the screenshot and you said her name like right in the beginning. Rachel.
Oh, Rachel?
Yes,
Rachel Berry.
I like her. I like her. I don't know what's gonna happen with the story, but I liked her. She was cool, and like she seemed interesting. And there was that one dude that I thought was okay in there, but I would leave it on. I'll probably watch more of it. I had it on, and I watched the first 2 episodes, and I was kind of doing some work while it was on the TV here. But there was no part of me where I was going like, "This is ridiculous. I have to turn this off." So I approve of Glee. Not like that Jane Lynch is waiting for, who's so funny. Not like she's waiting for my approval, but oh my gosh, and then. She's the coach of what, like the cheerleaders?
She's the coach of the cheerleaders, and they call the cheerleaders the Cheerios.
The Cheerios, and that was like, I was like, that's smart. Not because they're cheerleaders, right? Because they only eat Cheerios because they have to like watch their weight. Isn't that why?
Right. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's what they said. Like they like spent all their money on buying Cheerios. I don't know. I thought that's what I got out of it. I don't know, but I laughed at that. She's good comic relief. So I didn't mind the show. There was nothing that really turned me off about it. But like I said, I've only watched a couple episodes of it.
I still think one of my favorite parts is how they literally build you up to hate Sue Sylvester, which is Jane Lynch's character. And then in the next episode, you're like, oh, she's really not that bad. And then in the next episode, you're like, God, she's so evil.
She's the worst, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's
I love
good.
that they do that.
That's good writing. So good for you, Glee. Like I said, I'll probably turn it on at some point and just let it go. Right now, I'm just stuck on twitch.tv. I don't know how they're still open right now, but they've been playing like old 90s, like late 90s wrestling, like the Attitude Era from WWE. There's been like 10, 12 people just live streaming this for the last few weeks, and that's all I have 24/7. That's all I have on my TV, so reliving my youth of wrestling. And then a little bit confused that like, how are they playing the playoffs on here? How are they playing the latest pay-per-views on here and not getting in trouble, not getting shut down? There's thousands of subscribers. These channels have been going on for months now, and they're just going for it. So I kind of been stuck on that as my background noise.
Right.
But I will probably put some more. I'll probably put some more Glee on.
Twitch definitely does not go after people like YouTube does. But I think YouTube's been sued far more times than Twitch, and I think that's the thing. YouTube knows what can happen. Twitch still doesn't really know.
Which I don't get because Twitch is huge. It's huge. It's
not I don't either.
Small. It's huge.
Yeah, I don't either. It'll happen to him one day.
Real quick, just on the Twitch front. So Shroud and Ninja left to go to Mixer. Is that what it was called? And they got super paid. Then they closed down and they all got bought out for what, $40 million? And I think Shroud got $10 million. Then he went back to Twitch and they paid him again to come back.
Oh my god!
I love it. That kid's made so much money doing nothing.
Wow.
Yes, right. Oh my gosh, what a payday for that. What a payday for that.
Yeah.
Kid. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of payday, today that has nothing to do with payday, everybody at home. Speaking of payday, after I get done here, I'm going to run to the store and get some stuff for my Instapot. I'm on recipe number 2. I have this big chunk of meat that's in my freezer, right? And we got it from locally somewhere or something like that, so it didn't have a name on it. It just had the word picnic on it. And I'm like, okay, what does picnic mean? Maybe whoever had this chunk of meat before I was now in possession of this chunk of meat was going to use it for a picnic.
Or it's a picnic ham.
Yes. So I looked it up, and apparently it's called shoulder. It's like a pork shoulder, or it's called a pork picnic. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I looked up like too many Instapot recipes because I'm trying to like, I don't want, everybody just wants to like put it in the Instapot and make pulled pork out of it with the barbecue sauce. That's fine for like half of it, but I want to shred the other half and make like tacos with it, or when I cook it fresh tonight, I want it to have like potatoes and carrots in it and stuff like that. So I went on this rabbit hole of Pinterest, which is I have a love and a hate for Pinterest, and I found. Are you a Pinterest fan?
No, I love it and hate it.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. At some points, I'm like, this is amazing, and at some points, I'm like, it's like children made this. So today I'm gonna go and get all the ingredients and stuff to put this chunk of meat in the Instapot. I don't have a scale, so we had to get on the scale and weigh the meat. Like, you have to stand on it and stuff like that. So it's like 4 pounds. It's going to fit in there. I watch a lot of videos because I'm a visual person. I don't, someone like Crystal only wants to read words. Every time it's like, how do we do this? I'm like, I'm going to watch a video on it. And she's like, Johnny 5. She's like, nope, I just read a tutorial on it. Let's do it. So I watch visuals because I need to see when I'm searing how much smoke's okay, how much burns on there. What does it look like when it's seared in the Instapot? Is it okay that, how much oil are you putting in there? Okay. So I get a visual. So when I'm doing it and start smoking, I don't panic going like, oh my gosh, it's going to catch on fire. I'm ruining it. So I watched a bunch of Instapot videos. So now my algorithm's just full of Instapot stuff. Don't you just love that? It's like, now it's full of Instapot stuff. And so I'm going to cook, and I'll report back next week. I'll write that down in the notes here of how this big, huge pork shoulder is going to go. So I'm excited. This will be the second time I use the Instapot. I'm going to run to the store and grab the ingredients, and I'm going to make them, and I'm going to put it in there. I was thinking about videoing it, but I need 2 hands. I guess Blake can help me.
I video most of the Snow Dog stuff with 1 hand.
That's true. You do, and you nail those videos. The thing that's just confusing, it's like make pork shoulder in 60 minutes. No. It's 20-minute prep time. It's 15 minutes for it to come up to the timer. Then the timer goes for 60 minutes. Then you have to let it naturally exhaust for 10 minutes. Then you have to make sure that the vent's off of it. And then you have to pull it out and let it sit there while you reduce we reduce the goo on the bottom to sauce on the top. So it's like a few hours still, but I'm really excited for the Instapot, and that's my recipe.
It sounds good.
Yeah, it should be good. I've had this meat in there for a long time, and I don't want to use my slow cooker anymore. I want to use the Instapot.
Yep. I was thinking about doing kielbasa and sauerkraut in mine tonight, so we'll see.
Kielbasa. Oh, okay, like the sausages and the sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. I should have put that. Okay, tell me this. So yesterday I went and, actually a couple days ago I went to the store, but I bought these bratwursts that had cheese in there, and I grill them on the... Oh, what's the pan called that Tom would hit Jerry with? It was the cast iron pan. So I grilled them on the cast iron pan. They're good. I wonder if I should have put them on the Instapot. No, because they would have been steamy, huh?
Yeah, they would have been steamy.
See, do you want your kielbasa steamy?
I'll saute it beforehand.
Oh, okay. So that'll give it that little, like, it'll like seal it.
Yep. Yeah, because I slice mine up before I put it in there. I slice it up into bite-sized pieces. And then I'll saute it and I'll flip it so it's sauteed on both sides, and then I'll pour all the sauerkraut in and then let it go. Cook all together.
See, I'm learning. I got this rubbery kit coming with all the stuff. Like you have like the handles to pull it out and the little things so it keeps it up off the ground and stuff like that. Yeah. So I have those things coming. So I'm leveling up my Instapot skill. I'm really excited. I suck at cooking kind of, so I'm really excited to have this thing turn out really well. Yeah. So I'm wondering. I'm only worried that like the cooking time and stuff, but I'm trusting the recipe. And we'll see how it turns out next week. I'm putting it right here in Instapot roast. Roast. So
who knows? Maybe this year you'll make your Thanksgiving turkey in the Instant Pot. You'd have to get a pretty small turkey, but
I know, right? I could try this. There's no oil in there. I see when people deep fry the turkeys and it explodes.
Yeah,
There's no oil in there. I gotta watch out though, because the lady put oil in the bottom of there and she sprinkled a little bit of water on there to see if it would like pop a little bit, to see if it was.
Oh, it pops.
Yeah, to see if it would cook, if it was hot enough. So I gotta make sure I don't watch out. I don't put a bunch of water on there. It's okay. I've been watching a lot of crazy Russian hacker videos.
Yeah.
And he's been showing me cooking stuff. So, yep.
You're learning.
Yep, safety is number one priority. Yeah, so I'm really excited. I guess I'll take a picture. I don't know. There's a lot of people that don't eat meat, so I try not to like post a bunch of like roast beef.
There's a lot of people that don't eat meat. What about all the people that do eat meat? You just don't care about them?
That's true.
I mean, it goes both ways.
That's true. Very true. So we'll see. You guys have to take bets on whether the Instapot comes up for me or not tonight when I cook that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I'm looking through all the stuff here. I think we just about went through almost all of our topics. I do want to talk about two more things before we get out of here. I know it's getting towards the end of the hour. And I say that like we have a time limit.
Right.
We don't. You know what? Watch this. Yep, see, I just took up that time for myself right there. Real quick on the food talk before we get on to something else. You said Lucky Charms is now going to sell marshmallows all by themselves with no Lucky in it, just the charms.
Yeah, I don't know. It was trending on Twitter or something today, and it says that they're going to sell and they're the real, like, because you can buy marshmallows, a box of marshmallows, but they're not the Lucky Charms marshmallows. They're like a different brand of cereal marshmallows.
Right.
But yeah, I guess it says you're going to be able to buy Lucky Charms marshmallows all by themselves. They'll be limited edition, I guess. So they're only going to be available for a limited time. They had some information, I guess, on their Instagram about it, and I guess they're doing some type of contest so you can win some. And I don't know.
Here's the thing. Look, listen, because I know that the CEO and all the chairman of General Mills is listening to this right now. Listen, look, this would have been great like 6 years ago when the whole craze went around of people. Do you remember seeing those videos of people would have like Lucky Charm parties and they'd all show up with their bags and they'd put gloves on and they would pick all the mallows out and they would put them in a bag, and some people were selling them. For a while you could buy them on eBay where somebody sifted through, like, this was 5 boxes of Lucky Charms, and they would sift through there. Or like you said, you could buy like the knockoff, like bootleg versions of the Lucky Charm stuff. And they should have come out with this right when that trend was hitting 5 years ago. I haven't seen a bigger miss than when they waited 15 years to put out Freddy versus Jason. It's like everybody always wondered who'd win between Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees or whatever his name is. And then, like, I grew up and didn't care. And then they made Freddy versus Jason. And it's like, that's fine. I don't care anymore. I don't care.
Well, last year they did the what was it? It was like a giveaway where they did, I don't know what it was, if it was 10,000 or 15,000 boxes of Lucky Charms that were just the marshmallows, but it was a contest and you couldn't purchase them. So they did it last year. This year, I guess they're going to make it so you can purchase them, but they're still limited edition. There won't be that many made.
Limited edition is the buzzword for the 21st century.
100%.
Right.
Collector's edition. Limited edition. There's a reason that I stopped buying Spirit hoods. And it was because when I first started buying, they did all these limited edition runs or collector's edition runs. Will never be printed again. Well, now they've started remanufacturing all of those old hoods.
Yeah, they're classics.
Same look. Yep, same look, same everything. And they're still calling them, it's still a collector's edition because there was only so many made. But you've now taken something that I had that was valued at over $500 and you've dropped it down to nothing because you just recreated it. I had a hood that there was only like 6 of. And then they just went through and remade them. So
it's frustrating. And that's something that, because I was a really big sports card collector of baseball, not so much football, baseball, basketball, and hockey when I was a kid. And this is like really super early 90s. Right when, because things were limited edition when stuff would get messed up at the printing place. When a back of a card would actually accidentally get printed, with a different back than a front of a whole different player. And it was mistakes or limited runs and stuff. Then they started making them rare just for the sake of making them rare. Comic books did that too. If a comic book a place buys so many copies, they'll get sent one limited edition of this thing, and then they can sell it for like 10 times more on the shelves. And it's like, you're not creating this thing because you created this limit. It's not like something happened to make it rare. And it happened. It happened with Beanie Babies. It happened with Beckett or with Upper Deck baseball cards. That happened. There's so many. If you look up all your baseball cards from back in the day, or even all my comic books from the 90s, I have the first complete original run of the Infinity Gauntlet, the thing that we just got done ending the Marvel movies with, 1 through 6. My dad took me at night, like at 11 o'clock at night, when the guy would come back from Hollywood with all the new books, and they wouldn't even wait to open up the next morning. You could go in there and get them. They're not worth nothing. You can get all 6 issues for like $12. They're not worth anything. Nothing's worth anything from back in the day. So to see these things and stuff being limited edition, it's almost just like, hey, I just want more money.
Yeah.
I just want more money. They do it with records now that records are back. Like, oh look, this one's got tie-dye on it, or this one's half clear, or this one's in the shape of a banana, and it's so frustrating because the demand is being created for limited edition. Yeah,
yep, that's exactly what it is. And that's what they did with Spirit hoods, and now they can't understand why their company is suffering so bad. You took this audience, this consumer base that you had that was a trade market, and you destroyed it. So I have no incentive to buy. When you say there's only 30 of this hood, I have no incentive to buy it, with either because I want it because there's only 30, or because I want it because I want to try to sell it for a different hood that I didn't get at a different time. I have no incentive anymore because it's all a lie. It's not collector's edition. It's not limited edition. You're just going to reprint it 6 months down the road.
Yeah, and then in 2 more weeks, there'll be another limited edition run.
Yeah, it's a Siberian Husky hood version 2.0. No, it's exactly the same. You didn't change anything. It's exactly the same.
Yes. One thing I do love, though, is that Dane blanket. Oh my gosh, that blanket that you have is so comfortable. I do love.
And I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't love their stuff. Oh, it's just why I've stopped purchasing it.
It's their marketing
so much. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's their marketing.
When one of their co-owners left, that was when the shift happened. And it went, oh, well, okay. So, yeah, limited edition, whatever that means.
On that note, everybody, I just want to let you know that the super ultra limited edition CC Mouse podcast shirts are coming out at the end of this episode. No, I'm just kidding. But Lucky Charms, man, come on, you guys really missed the window on that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, you guys did. I did see that Cinnamon Toast Crunch now has this like little like a pepper shaker thing, and it's got like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch dust in it, which I guess you might as well. That. Yeah, that looks like it might be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I might have to find that. That would be pretty good.
We really get.
But I don't think it's limited edition.
You know what? Let's try for the next 12 months not to buy anything limited edition.
All right, I'll get right on that.
Yes, if it's got a limited edition sticker on it, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Good luck with that.
Right? Yeah. So, all right. I don't know. I don't really eat cereal. When I do eat cereal, it's dry. So I guess if there was a box of All Mallows, I can't. I got that COVID-20 going on already on me. I can't be doing this, General Mills.
Life is short.
I know, and so are my shorts now. That I have to go rebuy. Okay. All right. There's one last thing really quick that I wanted to talk about. Did somebody fly underneath the Mackinac Bridge?
Yeah, so they released this article that the police were trying to find any information on somebody that flew under the Mackinac Bridge, but it happened on like June 28th, and they just released the article like a week ago.
Right.
What took you so long to ask for information about somebody that flew under the Mackinac Bridge? Did you not know it happened? Did you not believe it happened? And how do you not have security footage of this, because there's a webcam that constantly shows the bridge?
That is true. I have seen that webcam. I think maybe that they were just holding out to release the story as limited edition. Maybe
that could be.
That's what it is.
Could be.
So you can fly a plane underneath this bridge? Because whenever I see pictures of this bridge, it doesn't look like it's off the ground that far.
It is. I mean, it's pretty high up there. Yeah, you can fly a plane under it, a little plane, if you really want to. I don't know if it's illegal per se, but it's dangerous, and I guess that's what they were saying. They want to talk to whoever did this, so I don't know if they're gonna give them a fine or what.
Oh, you gotta be in some trouble. You're putting lives at risk, and that's something I do not want to do.
No, I don't want to be. I could not imagine being on the bridge and seeing a plane coming straight at it. Oh my God.
Little planes scare me though. Like, the Fantasy Island style planes, those things scare me. So I don't know if I want to be in the plane that tiny.
I don't want to be in a plane that tiny. Jamie's always wanted to like possibly get his pilot's license. He has a friend of his that has his pilot's license, and he's always talked about it, and I'm like, that's cool, but I don't really want to get in the plane.
Just play the new flight simulator. Blake has the new flight simulator, and I've been watching videos on it. I don't know if you know that the new flight sim, like Flight Sim 2000's out, or 2020's out. Have you seen like what their gimmick is this year? How they use beam maps, and then so you're pretty much flying over like Google Maps, so everything's there, and all the airplanes that are in the air are real time from the airplanes that are in the air right now.
Yep.
And so,
I watched a YouTuber that was playing the game because I thought about getting it for Jamie because he used to love that game.
Oh my gosh! So me too. I was watching I Just Seen, which I Just Seen got sent like one of those kits where they sent her the yoke and the rudders and all that thing. And I'm like, that's so rad, even though that thing's so expensive. So when I pick up Blake yesterday, Blake gets in the car. I'm like, dude, did you see Flight Simulator? He's like, I got it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love you. So last night he boots it up. He doesn't have the joysticks or anything like that yet, which I think he might. I don't know. Mr. Moneybags there with monitors showing up and flight sim money. So he might make one of those show up. So he's flying it yesterday, and he straight takes off from the Palmdale Airport.
That's so crazy.
At Plant 42, and he's flying straight up over my town, right? So I'm like, this is great. Well, let's go to my house. And I saw people, I think Justine was warning everybody, like, hey, like, don't go over your house if you're streaming because people are just going to see where you live. Because it is literally one-to-one, and it's so neat. It's so much different because I can just pull up Google Maps and then scroll through the air, right? But it's so much different when you're flying this plane and you're taking off and you're flying over it. And, yep, sure enough, we flew right over my house. And
that's so
up in the sky, you can tell that it's my house and stuff like that. You can see it. But as you get closer, it gets really crude graphics, and it's just like this, like, it almost looks like a cave. And sure enough, we flew a plane down into my yard. Thunk. And it was there. But it was so accurate. I could see the Walmart. I can see the mountains. I can see the lake that we have out here. You can see everything. It's so crazy. Blake was telling me that the game works were like inside, like when you get to the LA area, it's way more detailed than like the outskirts of where I live on the outskirts of it. Right. And you can buy packs for different cities and stuff like that. So I'm thinking maybe the pack for the Antelope Valley here where I live might be like 99 cents.
That's so crazy.
Right. So I thought that was really, really cool that you could just, the game is now taking, it's not live data, but it's taking and loading the data because the game's so big that you can't just download the whole game. You have to be connected to the internet because it's pulling the ground data from like around you and stuff like that. So I think Jamie would absolutely love it just because of those features. Just because you guys can fly over your house, you could take off and land from the Alpena airport.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like, that's crazy to think of.
That is crazy, right? And I've always wanted that. The last Grand Theft Auto that came out was set here in LA, so you can go to a lot of the places, and that's in Hollywood and stuff like that. And they have mod kits where it'll replace all the signs with like the Hollywood sign and stuff like that. I'm waiting for them to be able to make it so we could just drive on Google Maps, pretty much.
Yeah. That would be kind of cool.
It's crazy. Somebody on the stream was doing like a 16-hour stream where they were going to go from like here to Dubai.
Oh my gosh.
Like in real time. Right. So it's getting there, and it's getting there quick. I think it's kind of neat. We should get it, and we should fly over people's houses. We should do a live stream and be like, give me your address. Like, I'll fly over your house. So Blake was playing with that last night, and it was really, really cool. So I do think Jamie would love that. And you know what? Maybe he can fly under the Mackinac Bridge. Maybe. There you go. That's how you bring it all back around. He should fly under the Mackinac Bridge. So yes, you should surprise Jamie with that. His computer will definitely handle it, but he might need a controller.
Yeah, he probably would.
Might have to hook him up with a controller. So
maybe.
Yes, that is absolutely all the topics we had to talk about. Today is Tuesday, so my new Pixar trivia video. It's ours because you worked on it too. You were the thumbnail. And title master. Holy cow! I still get comments on that Simpsons trivia thumbnail that you nailed, turning me into
that was the best one.
Turning me into a Simpsonite. What do you call what do they call? They don't call themselves humans, and you can't call themselves a Simpson character if you're like Flanders. What are they?
I don't. On the thing, they just call them yellow people.
Yellow people. This one had a rad one too, where I'm standing next to a bunch of Pixar characters, but it's a lot of fun. If you guys think you know your Pixar movies, which apparently making this, I didn't realize how much Pixar I did not know. And how much Pixar you do know. Did you get them all right, Jess?
I think I got all of them right when I watched through it the first time.
Yeah, so check it out. It's really fun. Obviously, youtube.com/RFSDan. If you watch it, please leave a comment. Tell Dan sent you. These can shows have been pretty fun. They've been getting better. I've been getting better at the green screen stuff on every video. Like, this one was pretty cool. I really like this one. I said that about the last one too. I'm like, I really like this one.
Good. And then I watched this one last night, and I'm like, I really like this one too.
Yeah. Yep. The only thing that's hard at all of it is just finding out what to say after the answer.
Right. Yeah. You do a good job of it though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was doing some research. Like I said, I was flipping around on Disney Plus yesterday through some of the movies to try to see where's this reference from? Like, where is this castle exploding at? Because I guess apparently I stopped after I don't know, Disney's Cars, or I saw Nemo, but I didn't see Dory. I saw Cars 1 and 2, but Cars 3 looked sad to me. I saw Toy Story 1 and 2, loved it. Didn't see Toy Story 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Really?
I own WALL-E. I don't remember anything about WALL-E.
Oh, WALL-E was such a good movie.
You're all throwing out WALL-E quotes. You're all throwing out Incredible quotes. I didn't see The Incredibles.
What are you waiting for? I don't know. Something amazing, I guess.
That was good. It was great line delivery by that kid. He's like, yeah, me too. Yeah, so I think I got 4 right out of all of them. I got 4 right.
I say that to the dogs all the time when they're staring at me. Like, what are you waiting for?
Jess, you have so many quotes. You have so many quotes from things that I don't know of, and movies I don't know of, and zombie South Park movies, and this mom that's mad in the kitchen about going mad about stuff. You have lots of quotes. I can't remember a knock joke. Someone's like, tell me a joke. And I'm like, I'm not funny that way. I don't know any jokes. I don't know any of those. You have all these quotes down and stuff like that. It's really impressive.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why I remember the silly things, but apparently I remember the silly things.
It's pretty impressive and pretty funny. So check it out. Check out Pixar Trivia. Please support us. And we'll all be live again this Saturday night for Dantix. Yahoo!
And we'll be live Wednesday night on the podcast.
Yes. Well, we'll have some fun announcements. It'll be It'll be announced cast because I have a bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of stuff planned for Wednesday today. If you guys are listening to this live stream on CC Mouse Podcast on YouTube,
yeah,
yes, it'll be fun. That's all the announcements. What do you have coming up? Do you have anything good coming up? You said that video with Kira hopping in the pool, which is interesting. Yeah. Which is interesting to me that you guys talked about having to decide to play this video, a video that is completely harmless. It's completely it's fun. It's kind of fun because there's no worry about anybody getting hurt. There's no worry about anything happening. But with the way things are these days, you have to really watch what you post, and some of it is just I don't want to hear the comments. Somebody really went off on me on my Instagram about putting a collar on Mouse. Yeah, a lot, and that's a lot of what it is. It's not that what happened, and I want to share it with people, and she was okay, and we were right there, but I feel like there's always that qualifier. Well, let me explain. We were standing right here, we were watching her, and blah blah blah. People want, and this is not directed at
our audience. It is not directed at our amazing audience members. It is not directed at the people that, that love what we do, because
look at
you
you
guys
qualifying
are great.
This statement.
See?
Oh my gosh.
See? I don't want anybody to think I'm picking on them. It's
right.
the people that come in and don't really know who we are and what we do, that may be new, they haven't watched us for a long time, they see something like that and they freak out and they feel the need to inject their opinion. And it's one thing when you're nice about it, but it's another thing when it's like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? Why do you have to be so mean? Get a hobby.
Yeah, yes, and it's fine. If you're a member of the audience, you want to throw your opinion out there and stick around, that's fine. It's like the new Dine and Dash. Fine. It's the opinion and dash. It's like, I'm going to go to your page, I'm going to copy and paste this statement of this opinion, and then I'm going to probably go off to the next video of somebody else and do the same thing. And it's like opinion and dash. That's what I'm calling it now.
Right.
And, instead of sticking around and being like, well, this is what I believe in. No, it's just like, here's a bunch of sour stuff, and then I'm out. And then I started second guessing myself. Well, is there a reason why I should not legitimately just like have a collar on my cat?
Do you want my opinion on it? Because again, this is just an opinion.
Yeah, sure. Because like if the cat doesn't get out, the park here catches them with the cages, and then they take them somewhere and release them. And I think that's what happened to Goku. Goku went out one day, and then he didn't have a collar on him, so they caught the cat and they took him somewhere. Whereas like Kumiko and Tails have collars on them, so maybe they won't be taken away. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, educate me.
When it comes to dogs, I don't like to leave collars on my dogs, because it's something that when they're playing, dogs tend to play a little bit differently than cats. It's one of those things when they're playing that they can, and I've had it happen, their teeth can get snagged in the collar, and the collars can twist, or if for some awful reason I'm not home and they get their collar snagged on something and it twists, I don't want to come home to a dog that has passed away. It does not happen that often, but it can happen. So some people will use what's called a breakaway collar, that when you have a little bit of tension on the collar just snaps.
Okay.
Which, those are really nice, but if your dog gets out and they have a breakaway collar and they're running and it snags on something, well, now it doesn't matter that you put a collar on your dog because it just broke away. But at least it broke away and they didn't get snagged in the woods.
The stars have to align for that to happen. Like, that's really worst case scenario.
I think it's just personal choice. I really do. I don't think anybody's a bad person for having their dog wear a collar during the day. I don't think somebody's a bad person for having their cat wear a collar during the day. It's personal choice. You have a very valid reason for having a collar on your cat. If the door gets left open, if a screen gets knocked out of the window, if that cat were to get out, look at how you got him. He got out of somebody's house.
Yes.
And you looked for his owner and you couldn't find him.
I could not.
Now,
he had inside skills.
If he gets out of your house, at least he's got a collar on. Somebody's going to know he's your cat. So it's just, I think it's one of those things that every situation is different. Every single situation is different. If you're a house that has a whole bunch of kids and your kids open up the front door and your dog tends to run off, yeah, your dog should have a collar on all the time.
I'm like a big kid, and like I don't want him to hang himself on something, but it's like, you can't live like that. And if that's what happens to you, dude, like, come on, man. Like, so... I don't know, but what are the bad things? They never explained to me why it was bad.
The problem with it is pretty much what I said. If, and it's a big if the cat were to get caught on something and twist, and then the collar's choking them, that's where it becomes a dangerous situation. But you're home during the day. Like, it's not like... And the other thing is, it's not a common thing to have happen. It's one of those, oh my gosh, it's, I'm a helicopter dog mom. I know
you
that
are.
It's not a...
You are.
Yeah, and I know that it's not a common thing for my dog to snag their collar on something. It's just like potato chip bags. Potato chip bags scare the crap out of me because a dog can suffocate in a potato chip bag. So can a cat. Dogs a little bit more easily because their heads are bigger. Yeah, so like... Whenever there's a potato chip bag that's in reach of the dogs, I panic. Everything has to be kept high up because I don't want them to get their face in it. It's such a rare thing that happens, but there are people out there that are just, I don't know that they're necessarily internet warriors, but I can look at it with an open mind, and I don't think everybody can. It's like muzzle training your dog. There are a lot of people out there that believe muzzles are a bad thing no matter what. I have a lot of friends with reactive dogs who've muzzle trained their dogs. I watched a video from a friend of mine today that explains exactly why her dog wears a muzzle almost all the time. Because the dog reacted for no reason. It's just a reactive dog. And if it wouldn't have had a muzzle on, it would have been the most horrifying dog fight ever. So it becomes, you have to make your own decision in your own situation. I think you're doing the right thing, because how did you end up with Mouse? He got away from somebody, and you didn't know where he went back to. You tried to find his owner. If he were to get away from you, at least he's going to be able to find his way back.
I did try to find. I'm like, let's go. Like, take me, Lassie. Take me back to the owner. And he did.
Right.
He did not. And now he's mine. Now he's mine. I love him, and he loves me to the end. I don't know how we got caught. I don't know how we got stuck on that little bit. But yes, somebody collar shamed me, and then I had like a second thought. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing to you, little mouse? But yeah, he's scrappy. I don't know if he gets out. I need him back. I love him now.
Yeah, exactly.
Feelings have been invested. So
yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so back to what we were saying real quick before we get out of here. The video of Kira hopping in the pool, which I thought it was a good video. That'll be on a vlog soon?
It'll be on a vlog, yes, this week, I think.
So look out for that. All I was trying to do was plug. I was just trying to plug something that you were doing, and now here we are, 15 minutes later. Yes. Okay, should we get out of here and wrap it up so we can start our day? I'm starting to melt. I know we're talking about the heat, but it is getting to that point where it's 10:49 and I'm starting to melt, and Blake is still not up from his hibernating slumber.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna wake him up so I can drag him to the store with me. I don't know how he's gonna get a mask over his brother Hezekiah beard, but we'll see. So, all right, that'll do it for this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. Listen to us every Wednesday on your oh no! Wait, I have the power to start over again. That'll do it for this week's episode of the CC Mouse Podcast. Listen to us every Wednesday on your favorite music app. Interact with us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Patreon at CC Mouse Podcast. Rip our merch, limited edition, at ccmousepodcast.shop. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday live on our YouTube channel. And here, same mouse time, same mouse podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Yay, we did a thing.